Welcome back to the M&M podcast. It's Cameron McKay here. I'm here with the hosts, Mike and Max.
Yeah, that was a good
That was
intro.
good.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the M&M podcast. This is your host, Mike Madera, alongside
Max Robinson. Thrilled to be back here. Another great episode. You already seen our guest already. It's going to be a great one.
Yeah, we're here approaching break. Very excited to get into the winter break. You got any plans over break? What are you doing?
Celebrating Christmas
Oh.
and New Year's.
Oh, yeah.
And working, and I'm gonna nap a lot.
Nap.
Yes.
That's a mood.
Mhm.
So,
Key.
talk to me a little bit. Introduce yourself for the podcast fans that don't know you. And we're not just Simpson based, so introduce yourself as anyone would want to meet you.
Perfect. I'm Cameron McKay. I'm 18. I'm a freshman at Simpson. I was on the volleyball team, but then I what's the word? Retired, maybe? We'll say retired.
Yeah, I like that word.
I am a physical education major with a minor in coaching.
What do you want to coach?
Volleyball.
Okay.
So I don't know how that's going to work out after I quit, but I guess we'll figure something out.
Something. I mean, not all coaches play. None of my high school coaches played football.
No,
That's
So,
wild.
No, it is wild. We did go 2-6, but
that's not the point.
no, not at all. It's okay.
Hey, my high school coaches played football and we went 1-9. So.
Oh,
Nah.
I see you. How have you? I know you have plans. I hope you don't mind me saying this. You're transferring next year,
Mhm.
going to the University of Iowa.
Yeah.
Are you excited for that?
I'm super excited.
I'm super excited for you. I feel like going to a big university is like an atmosphere that we've tried to explore. Max and I will talk about it on a later podcast, but we go up to Iowa State sometimes and feel that vibe, and I just couldn't imagine living there 24/7. It seems so much fun.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I wanted to come here, first of all, for volleyball, but then after I decided I wasn't playing anymore, it kind of just like the small environment just felt a little bit too much like high school for me. So I wanted to just try and venture out and try something new, be a little bit farther away from home.
Yeah, not be involved in athletics. I mean, obviously, that's
Yeah.
not like the goal. If you weren't happy, you weren't happy. A lot
Yeah.
of people got to understand that. A lot of people do. I feel like it's very understanding.
Yeah.
Very understanding topic. So what are you most excited for going into the University of Iowa?
Just being able to like just put myself in a different environment, I guess,
Right.
because like I'm literally 20 minutes away from home, so
Oh,
like
really?
right now, so just
Oh.
being able to like actually be independent, be on my own, and just kind of get that feeling of freedom and independence, I guess you could say.
That's great. That's really exciting. I couldn't imagine being that close to home and then still trying to enjoy college. It just
Yeah,
wouldn't- I don't feel
I
like
know.
it'd be the same.
I'm home like every other day, so
No.
it's like I didn't even move. I'm just here for classes, and most of the time I stay at home anyway. So I want to
Wow.
Yeah.
push myself to be outside.
Do you think that affected your college? Like, how do I word that? Your college career here at Simpson.
I think so. Just because, like, I don't know, because every time, like, I would go home, I love being home, obviously, I love my family, but then I would come back and I would be, like, pretty sad because I miss my family, even though they're, like, 20 minutes away. And then it's easier to just go and hang out with them rather than stay on campus and get to know people and, like, put myself out there here. So, yeah, it's obviously nice to see my family, but I feel like it's going to feel more special when I live farther away when I do get to see them.
Yeah, I think in
Right.
college, being away from home is one of the key parts of it. For me, I'm like 43 hours, 45 minutes away, so I kind of get that feeling of really truly being on my own somewhat, but still having that support system back there. But
Yeah.
being away from him, you learn a lot. I don't know, it's pretty fun too.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I enjoy Simpson, the small campus, but like I said earlier, I would love to go like explore the University of Iowa or something.
Oh, yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Meet a lot of new people. You're definitely gonna make a lot of new friends up there.
I know,
and
hopefully.
have a great time. I mean, I think you will. You're a very likable person.
Oh,
We
Thank
Very
you
social.
so much.
very social person. You know.
Yeah.
It was very easy for us to be friends. We first mic'd you up during the dodgeball games,
God.
and I had you singing the national anthem. We might have to post that one.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't. You were like, we're
I don't-
posting this
I
right
never
I
now.
don't
sent
even
them
think
to
I
him.
have that clip.
I
I've
never
been
sent
still
them.
asking for the clips
Oh,
from Mike.
God.
Maybe we'll get it to us. Maybe not.
I
We'll
don't
see.
know. We'll see how I'm feeling, man.
Perfect.
Tell me how I live my life. I don't know. So what is, I mean, going off this, Max and I talk about it a little bit. What is your favorite holiday?
Honestly, it's pretty basic, but it's probably Christmas.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like that's a go-to. It's a great
Yeah.
holiday. It's a
Yeah.
great time. We talked about how important it is to spend time with your family. We went into that in a later episode. But
Yeah.
how important do you think it is to spend time with family during Christmas and enjoy those moments?
It's really important to me just because most of my family all of my family except for like my immediate family lives in Knoxville, Iowa.
Okay.
So like grandmas, grandpas on both sides, all my cousins, stuff like that. So just being able to like see all of them is super important because we don't get to see each other all the time, and we always have a really good time when we are together, and it's super. They're just like my people. They just all
Right.
get me. We get each other. It's so awesome, and like just being able to connect with people that you don't have to force it with, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean
That's the best.
I feel like that's how Max and I click. Is like we don't have to force. Well, sometimes we do. But
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's just anything. But like
Yeah.
when we talked about it, I don't think we ever really have to force ourselves to hang out with each other. We kind of
Mm-mm.
typically have a good time.
Yeah.
But we're different, so that's what makes it hard.
I know,
sometimes.
that's another awesome part, is that all of us were all so different, but we all just,
Gosh,
we
that's
vibed
amazing.
so well. And like, my older sister moved out a while ago, and I just moved out, so now it's just my younger sister, and then my other younger sister, and my younger brother. I know, I have a lot of siblings. But,
Make sure you tell them to follow the M&M podcast.
Oh, I will, for
Okay,
sure.
That's amazing.
yeah, but like, not being able to see them all the time, and then when I do get to see them, it's just super special. We get to like catch up on our lives and stuff like that. It's like, we're just like old friends, but then obviously we're sisters.
Right. Do you plan on getting an apartment up in Iowa City or?
Yeah, I went there this past weekend to visit one of my hometown friends, and I found a couple of people that I'm gonna room with, and we're looking at
Sweet.
apartments now, so
That's
that should be
amazing.
awesome.
That's awesome.
Dude, those. I wish Simpson would let us live off
Mhm.
campus.
Oh yeah, that's
Actually,
something
know.
we looked into last year, but ultimately, there's too many things here that allow us not to be able to do that.
Yeah.
We had a fat house we were about to buy.
Yeah, it's
Really?
gonna be
They
great.
did not let us do that. I'll tell you what. Yeah. So we talked a little bit with someone today, and I feel like we could talk about this about like classes and professors at Simpson, going more specific into foundations. And you being a freshman, talk a little bit about your experience at foundations right now. And I want you to know now. I want you to be brutally honest, like
Yeah.
how you genuinely feel, because I think that's the most important key when we talk about this class. And for those of you that don't know, foundations is a required class that Simpson makes you take. It's supposed to cover DEI and what was the other? Max and I both took it. That's how we met.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's supposed to cover very sensitive topics and
just understanding how like our countries are in, how it works, all of those
100%.
things, from democracy to DEI, covers a lot of stuff.
So go ahead and talk a little bit about your experience so far in the foundations class.
I really like the idea of it. I think it's something that a lot of people should venture out to and just like be educated on. I don't really like how it's just absolutely required right out of the gate, because it's not something that's going to interest everyone. And like, it just kind of gave me that kind of feeling of like when you're in high school and you're required to take all these classes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the semester, like, I really am glad that I took it. We read a book called Palaces for the People, and it's all about social infrastructure and like how important that is for like communities to grow, and just the importance of like closeness of communities. And I think that was a very important lesson to learn. I just grinded out a 12-page paper about it last night, and like just like recapping all of it. I think it's super important, and like as annoying as it is that it's required, I still think that it's very important. And I think it's also good because they can use different topics every year to make it like applicable to the world.
100%. The professor that we were speaking to has ideas on what he wants to do next semester, and there was a reason he was speaking to us. And I don't want to go into detail. I don't want to spoil anything for him.
Yeah,
And hopefully we have this guy on this podcast.
definitely gonna.
Have to. No, 100%.
Not a hopefully. He's gonna be.
He's
on.
going to be on the podcast. He's very well spoken, and his vision was, although he was a professor, he was very in line with how Max and I think and how we do things. And that was like eye opening for us, because you know Simpson now. I mean, going into your first semester.
Yeah.
Professors and guys that are higher up, or females that are higher up, don't make their words true. They will promise, but never deliver.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah, some.
Yeah.
But guys like this guy see from our point of view and are making a change, and it's great. It's great to see. And a lot of colleges have that problem. And if you went to college and you said, like, oh, that's something I did, it's very relatable.
Yeah.
Going into that, I feel like it's a perfect time to get into our mental minute.
Oh yeah.
Cam, we talk about mental health a lot. Well, not a lot. We usually do just a minute, mental minute.
As you should.
Right. What is one thing you do to cope with your mental health, and try to like improve it? And then I'll go ahead and give you a tip, and that's just usually what happens here. So go ahead. What are some things that you do to help your mental health?
Like the basic things that I do is I just make sure that I have time for myself, because being around like a lot of different people in different environments, school, whatever it is, it can get very stressful and overwhelming. So just giving myself that time to just relax and reflect. And I journal.
Okay.
Every Sunday, I like recap my week and like how I felt about the week, whether if it was like good or bad, like just like details, how like I want the next week to go, just like I set goals for myself. That's something that I started coming into college. I started it like a month ago, and like it's been a game changer for me. I've really been able to like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about journals,
Mhm.
and I've heard they've helped you a lot. That's personally not the route I would take.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at writing.
No, me neither.
Yeah, so maybe it's something I
Hey,
should
anyone
do.
can really journal.
Right, I might try to
It's
journal.
not getting graded. It's yours.
True.
That's really good. So my mental minute advice: meditation. Meditation's big. It gives you time to escape from what's happening in the real world. It goes into the same category as showers. We talked about showers, but when you meditate, it's not about sitting there and humming and crossing your legs.
Oh.
No, yeah, none of that. I'm talking, you take time and you slow your heart rate down. Something we do after we work out, and something I've taken to heart, and I do it every day, is you lay down on your back on the floor, and you have your knees bent up, and you put your hand on your stomach, and you take a long breath. You fill your lungs up with air through your nose. It's all through your nose, slowly out. But it's like a good 5-second pause when you have your lungs full. It's like a good.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Mhm.
great, and when you do that, it slows your heart rate down. It gives you time to think. You can really think about anything. And I do about 10 breaths, and then I get up slowly and I just kind of like reflect on where I was at. You know,
Yeah.
And that's a really good thing to do if you're stressing out about homework, about work, anything like that. Just take a good 5 minutes to yourself and take those breaths. So that's my mental advice for today. Max, you got anything to add on that?
Yeah, I would just say, like, the big thing, we talk about meditation, we talk about showers, both those things just allow you a break and escape from what reality is, and I think it's important today, as you said with the journaling, it kind of allows you to take a step back, reflect on what was going on, how the week went, and I think that's really important just to do daily, weekly, monthly, at any time. Just take a step back, relax, make sure that you're putting yourself in the position you want to be in, and make sure you're around the people that you want to have around you.
You need to put yourself in a position to win the day.
Oh, yeah.
And mentally, you have to be there. That's the biggest part. Some people say, like, a great athlete is physical and all of these things, but in all reality, a great athlete is someone who's mentally strong and mentally able to look at things in a different way than someone that can't, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what makes a great athlete. So that's something I relate to.
Yeah, I think all that just ultimately goes into building great people, building great environment, building great culture.
100%.
I
So
agree.
that was the end of our mental minute. Great mental minute.
Oh, yeah. Always is.
100%, always is. I want to talk a little story. We had a little conversation before the podcast about a story of, like, when I first met you. I was not there. But I want you to talk about our good old friend Nick.
Great supporter of the
Great
podcast.
supporter
Oh,
of the
God.
podcast. This is a hilarious story, and I think a lot of people are gonna get kicks out of it. So, talk about it a little bit before, but tell us the story from the
The floor
rundown.
is yours.
The floor is yours.
Okay.
Tell us the story.
Is there anything I'm not like allowed to say?
Say what you want.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
Who's
matter.
listening to the radio right now? Anyways?
No one. If you're listening to the radio, tune in to the Eminem Podcast. Follow us
Yes,
on
sir.
IG. Go ahead.
So I was out with a couple of friends at just like the local Indianola place, and I was walking back with one of my buddies, and he Snapchatted a picture of me to one of his buddies, which ended up being Nick, and he sent a video back, and I don't remember exactly what he said. It was a little foggy. It was like 1 a.m., so I was like, whatever. But he said something and addressed me as a bitch in the video, and I
Shake
don't-
my head, Nick.
yeah,
Come
Nick,
on, bro.
get real.
Get real, bro.
But like, I just don't take that
No.
personally. So I had some words to say about it.
As you should.
So I kind of, you could maybe say I went off on
Right.
our friend Nick, and I do feel badly about it now. But in the moment, I was just like, bitch, huh?
Oh.
So I just was
Something snapped.
yeah,
Some snap in
yeah,
your brain.
it just a little click, and I was like, "Who are you calling a bitch?" And then
Oh.
I just kind of went into it, but I don't want to get into that.
You scared him, didn't you? He was
Yeah.
terrified.
And then he was
from
like-
what I hear.
Yeah, and then we were talking about it a few weeks after, and he was like, "Yeah, I just was not expecting that." I was like, "I'm sure you weren't."
No, it's something that guys say that shouldn't really be said.
No, no one should be ever
no.
addressed as a bitch because
No.
we're like,
Oh my god.
It's real talk.
You know
It's
what I
real.
did the other day? I forgot about this. This was crazy. This was like yesterday. Morgan and I were watching this show,
mhm.
and she did something, and she just kept messing with me. And I meant to say stop being a dick, but I said stop being a bitch.
Ooh.
And she beat my ass.
Good.
No, and I was like, I apologized so much. I felt horrible. I was like, because I always say, like, stop being a dick. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean to me,
Yeah.
you know? Nah, like, she
Yeah,
got
there-
on me.
I have my ex-boyfriend, he would, like, sometimes it would slip out even though he knows I hate it, and I'd look at him, I'd just be like, huh?
Oh, yeah.
He'd be like, oh my god, like, never mind, like, I'm so sorry.
I'm
Like,
terrified. Woman
Yeah.
scares me when it comes to that stuff. And as she should. Like,
She should.
Put me in my place.
Yeah.
But I had to make her understand that was an accident. I told
Yeah.
because I started with the D, and I ended in the ch, and it just was, what? Like, what did I just say?
Just can't even believe it.
No, I was so done. You can ask her. I was like, what? Like, what did I just say? And she's like, did you just say that? I was like, no.
That was an accident.
I swear it was an accident. Yeah, that's hilarious. That was a good little story. Max, you ever called a female a bitch?
Yeah, I have. Oh my gosh, this last summer I was hanging out with my friend Nate. Shout out Nate. We were with his girlfriend, and I was talking about a story, and I referred to a female as a bitch.
No.
And she paused me in the middle of the story, and I already knew it was coming. I was like, I'm so sorry. And hey, we got it over it. We finished the story. I reworded my words, and I learned. But yeah.
Yeah, it's not good.
No.
Yeah.
We should not be using
No
the
excuse.
words to females. No,
No.
not at all. Not at all. I love my girl. Love you, Morgan. Shout out, Morgan.
Shout out, Morgan.
You
Love
should
you,
not
Morgan.
have- should not have said that whatsoever. But we're coming close to the end of our episode. We're doing short episodes over this great winter break. You got any advice for our listeners? Anything you think they should know, whether it's about college, about life,
Calling
anything,
people names.
calling people names, anything you want to be noted on.
Just, it's super cheesy and gross, but, like, just don't be afraid to, like, be yourself and put yourself out there. Putting myself out there is something that I struggled with at the beginning of coming to Simpson, and now that I have, I'm super glad that I did, and I'm glad that I have that experience to know that that's what I should be doing with my life. Just be yourself. Don't be mean to people, for the love of God. There's no point. Just be nice to everyone. You never know what people are going through. Be respectful, be thoughtful, and don't be, I was going to say bitch, but don't be mean. Perfect.
I think those were great words. We appreciate you for being on the podcast, and best
Thank you
of luck
so much
to you
for
in
having me.
Iowa and all that stuff. So thank you guys for tuning in. Cam, great outro. That's just where we're going to leave it.
Oh yeah.
Catch you guys next week.
See ya.